Okay, so in this video, we are going to learn how to read a Vernier imperial scale caliper. Our first point of reference is this 0. This is our guide point. Whatever this number or this line is pointing to is the reading, how wide these jaws are or how far down the depth range have gone. So our first reading is, where did this line pass on this piece right here? This piece is called our fixed scale. So looking at this Vernier here, we have a 0 here, and then we have a 1. This 1 is representing 1 inch. Once this 0, or the Vernier scale, has passed a 1, we have reached 1 inches. If this 0 was past this number here, the 2, we've passed 2 inches. So I always encourage students to write down the numbers as they go along. It's a process that each step represents. So our first number would be 1 inch. So we want to make sure we write down 1 inch. Our next step is reading the tenths. So the first number behind the decimal place. So if we look on our scale here, you'll notice that there was a long line here, 3 shorter lines, and then a long line here. So that would be 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. So what we're looking for is, what did the 0 line pass? Remember, it's past the 1 inch, so we wrote down our 1 inch over here. The 0 has passed this line right here, which would be 1, and it's past the 2. It has not passed this line right here, which represents the 3. So what we want to do, writing down, would write 0.200. Now you don't always have to write the zeros down, but it keeps your decimal places so you know what you're measuring to. We're measuring 2/1000ths of an inch. Our next reading, so we've done our 1 inch, we've done our tenths line, so our 1 number past the decimal place. Now we want to read our hundredths line, so 2 decimal places back. What we're looking for, if we scale in a little bit more, you can see the 2. You see there's 3 smaller lines past the 2, and then we'd hit a 3 here. What we look for is, has this guideline on the 0 passed any of these 3 lines? Each one of those lines represents 25/1000ths of an inch, so 0.025. If we look at this one here, this line has passed the 1, the 2, and the 3. So it's passed all 3 lines, it just hasn't reached the tenths line. So 25 plus 25 plus 25 is, we're going to write that down, 0.075 of an inch. Okay, so our last reading, that's our thousandths of an inch. So what happens when we bring it even closer here, you will notice that this 0 doesn't actually match up with this line right here. So this is called our Vernier scale. Each one of these lines measures 1/1000th of an inch, 0.001. It tells you right on the scale here. So how we read a Vernier caliper is, where does this line match up onto our fixed line? Or which line all the way down this Vernier scale matches up with one of the lines on my fixed scale? So you have to go one at a time. Does that one match? Does that one match? Does that one match? So looking at this one here, which one matches first? As I move down here, what I see is the 15 right here is the first one that matches on my fixed scale. So what I want to do is write that down, 0.015, and that's in inches. All we have to do is add things up. So you just read that Vernier caliper at 1.290 inches.